Azalea's amazing summer adventure. Hello, little explorers and language adventurers. Are you ready to join 5-year-old Azalea on the most exciting summer vacation ever? From magical beaches to mysterious forests, this story will take you on an unforgettable journey while helping you learn English in a fun way. Don't forget to subscribe to Story-Driven English for more amazing adventures that make learning a breeze. Now, let's begin our adventure with Azalea. The story chapter 1. The big news. Azalea was a little girl with curly brown hair and big green eyes. She was only 5 years old, but she had a big imagination. She loved to explore, ask questions, and learn new things. One sunny morning, Azalea was eating her breakfast. She was munching on her favorite cereal with strawberries on top. "Azalea," said Mom with a big smile, "Dad, and I have a surprise for you." Azalea's eyes grew wide. She loved surprises. "What is it? What is it?" she asked, bouncing in her chair. Dad laughed. "We're going on a summer vacation. We're going to visit the beach, the mountains, and even a big forest." Azalea clapped her hands. "When do we go? Can I bring Mr. Whiskers?" Mr. Whiskers was Azalea's stuffed cat. He went everywhere with her. "We leave tomorrow," Mom said, and "Yes, Mr. Whiskers can come too." Azalea jumped up from her chair. "I need to pack. Mr. Whiskers needs his sunglasses and his hiking boots." Mom and Dad laughed as Azalea ran to her room, already planning all the adventures she and Mr. Whiskers would have. That night, Azalea couldn't sleep. She was too excited. She whispered to Mr. Whiskers, "We're going to have the best summer ever." Chapter 2. The beach day car ride was long, but Azalea didn't mind. She played games with Mom and Dad, sang songs, and told Mr. Whiskers all about the beach. "We'll build the biggest sandcastle ever," she promised him when they finally arrived. Azalea couldn't believe her eyes. The beach was beautiful. The sand was golden, and the ocean was blue and sparkly under the sunshine. "Can I go swimming now?" Azalea asked, already trying to take off her shoes. "First, we need sunscreen." Mom said, "The sun is very strong today." Dad helped Azalea put on her swimsuit, and Mom covered her in sunscreen. It felt cold and sticky, but Azalea didn't care. She was going to swim in the ocean. "Wait for me." Azalea called to Dad, who was already walking toward the water. She ran after him, holding Mr. Whiskers high so he wouldn't get sandy. The water was cold at first, and Azalea squealed, but soon she was splashing and laughing. Dad taught her how to float on her back, and she felt like a little boat on the water. "Look, Dad, I'm floating," she giggled. After swimming, Azalea and Dad built a sand castle. It had 4 towers and a moat around it. "This is for the Fish King," Azalea explained, putting a seashell on top of the tallest tower. "And Mr. Whiskers is the guard." Later, they had a picnic on the beach. Sandwiches never tasted so good. Azalea found tiny crabs hiding in the sand and watched seagulls flying overhead. "This is the best day ever," she told Mr. Whiskers as they watched the sunset paint the sky pink and orange. Chapter 3. Mountain Adventure. Next day, they drove to the mountains. The road went up, 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 and Azalea could see everything getting smaller below them. "We're going to touch the clouds," she exclaimed, pressing her face against the car window. The mountain air was cool and smelled like pine trees. Their little cabin was made of wood and had a fireplace. Azalea thought it looked like a house from a fairy tale. Can we explore? She asked as soon as they unpacked. Let's go on a short hike, Dad suggested. But stay close to us. The mountain trails can be tricky. Azalea put Mr. Whiskers in her little backpack, with just his head sticking out so he could see everything too. Mom gave her a walking stick, which made her feel very grown up. The trail was beautiful. There were wildflowers in purple, yellow, and blue. Butterflies danced around them, and birds sang in the trees. Look! Azalea suddenly whispered, pointing ahead, it's a deer. Everyone froze and watched as a mother deer and her baby crossed the path. The baby had spots on its back. They were so quiet and graceful. They're like magic, Azalea whispered after the deer disappeared into the trees. That evening, Dad made a campfire outside their cabin. They roasted marshmallows and made s'mores. Azalea had never tasted anything so delicious. Dad told ghost stories, but they weren't too scary. Azalea snuggled against Mom, with Mr. Whiskers tucked under her arm, feeling warm and safe as she looked up at the stars look like glitter on dark paper. She said sleepily, there are more stars here than at home, Mom explained. Away from the city lights, we can see them better. Azalea counted stars until her eyes got heavy, and Dad carried her inside to bed. Chapter 4, The Mysterious Forest. After the mountains, they drove to a big forest. Trees stretched up so high that Azalea had to tilt her head all the way back to see their tops. This forest is very old, Mom explained. Some of these trees were here before your grandma was born. They stayed in a little house at the edge of the forest. It had a porch where they could sit and watch rabbits and squirrels in the morning. Today, we're going to the Forest Discovery Center, Dad announced over breakfast. They have a special program for kids your age. At the center, a forest ranger named Miss Linda gave Azalea a special explorer's hat and a magnifying glass. Today, you're going to be a nature detective, Miss Linda said with a smile. Are you ready for your mission? Azalea nodded eagerly. She was ready. Miss Linda led Azalea and other children along a special trail that looked for animal tracks, interesting leaves, and bugs. Azalea found a feather, which Miss Linda said belonged to a blue jay. Can I keep it? Azalea asked. Yes, but always remember our forest rule. Take only pictures and memories, leave only footprints. But one little feather that has already fallen is okay to take, Miss Linda explained. Azalea carefully put the feather in her pocket to show Mr. Whiskers later. The most exciting part was when they found a family of rabbits living under a bush. Everyone had to be very quiet so they wouldn't scare them. The mommy rabbit made a nest for her babies, Miss Linda whispered. It's called a warren. Warren, Azalea repeated softly, thinking it was a nice word. After the nature walk, they went to the butterfly garden. Butterflies of all colors flew around them. One orange butterfly landed right on Azalea's nose. It tickled, and she tried very hard not to giggle and scare it away. You've made a friend, Mom said, taking a picture. That night, Azalea told Mr. Whiskers all about her day. She put the blue jay feather next to her pillow and dreamed of flying high above the forest like a bird. Chapter 5, The Unexpected Rainy Day. Next morning, Azalea woke up to the sound of rain pattering on the roof. She ran to the window, but all she could see were gray clouds and raindrops sliding down the glass. Oh no, she said to Mr. Whiskers, our exploring day is ruined. Mom found Azalea looking sad by the window. Why the long face, sweetie? We can't go exploring in the rain. Azalea sighed. Who says? Mom smiled. Rainy days can be adventure days too. We just need to be creative. First, they made rain art that put paper and drops of paint outside in the rain. The raindrops made the paint dance and mix in beautiful patterns. The rain is painting with us, Azalea exclaimed. Next, Dad helped her make a fort in the living room using blankets, chairs, and pillows. It became their indoor explorer's cave. Inside, they used flashlights to read books and tell stories. Later, they put on raincoats and rain boots and went outside. Azalea had never splashed in puddles on purpose before. It was so much fun to make big splashes and see who could jump. In the most puddles, look what I found, Dad called, crouching by a big leaf. Under it was a small, orange salamander. It's so tiny. Azalea whispered, carefully looking at the little creature. Is it a baby dragon? Dad chuckled. It's a salamander. They love rainy days because they need to keep their skin wet. They watched the salamander until it wiggled away under another leaf. By afternoon, the rain had stopped and something magical happened. A rainbow appeared in the sky, stretching from one end of the forest to the other. It's like the sky is smiling again, Azalea said. Dad lifted her onto his shoulders so she could get a better view. Some people say there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, he told her. Can we go find it? Azalea asked. The fun thing about rainbows is that they look close, but when you try to reach them, they seem to move away, Mom explained. But we can enjoy their beauty from right here. That night, as Azalea got ready for bed, she told Mr. Whiskers rainy days can be amazing too. We just have to look for the adventure. Chapter 6, The Surprise Birthday and Their Last Day of Vacation. Azalea woke up to find the house very quiet. Usually, Mom and Dad were already awake, making breakfast and planning the day. But today, she couldn't hear anything. Hello? She called, clutching Mr. Whiskers. Where is everybody? She padded into the kitchen in her pajamas, and suddenly, surprise! Happy birthday, Azalea! Mom and Dad jumped out from behind the counter. The kitchen was decorated with balloons and streamers. On the table was a stack of pancakes with a candle on top. Azalea was so surprised she almost dropped Mr. Whiskers. But my birthday isn't until next week. We know, Dad said, giving her a big hug, but we wanted to celebrate it during our vacation. This way, you get to birthday celebrations. Azalea couldn't believe it. 2 birthdays? This was the best surprise ever. After the pancake breakfast, Mom handed her a wrapped present. Inside was a special camera for kids. Now you can take pictures of all your adventures, Mom said, just like a real explorer. Azalea immediately started taking pictures of everything. Her pancakes, Mr. Whiskers, Mom and Dad, the view from the window. We have one more surprise, Dad said. We're going on a special birthday adventure today. They drove to a place called Enchanted Gardens. It was the most magical place Azalea had ever seen. There were butterfly houses, maze gardens, and even a small castle to explore. In the butterfly house, Azalea took pictures of butterflies that were blue, yellow, and even one that was clear like glass. In the maze garden, she and Dad raced to see who could find the center first. Dad let her win, but she didn't know that the best part was the wishing pond. Azalea was given a special coin to throw into the water and make a wish. What should I wish for, Mr. Whiskers? She whispered. After thinking hard, she tossed the coin into the sparkling water. What did you wish for? Mom asked. Azalea shook her head. Can't tell or it won't come true. That evening, they had a picnic dinner by a small lake. As the sun began to set, Dad pointed to the water. "Look closely," he said. Azalea gasped. There were fireflies starting to glow around the lake. They look like tiny, floating stars. "This is better than birthday candles," she whispered, watching the fireflies dance in the gathering darkness. As they walked back to the car, Azalea yawned. "It had been a long, wonderful day. Did you have a good birthday, sweetie?" Mom asked. "The best," Azalea mumbled sleepily. "I wish every day could be like this." Dad smiled and picked her up. "The memories will last forever," he said. "And you have your pictures to help you remember." As they drove back to their little forest house, Azalea fell asleep in her car seat, still holding her new camera in one hand and Mr. Whiskers in the other. Chapter 7, Going Home. Next morning, it was time to pack and go home. Azalea felt sad as she helped Mom fold her clothes. "I don't want to leave," she said. "This is the best place ever. All adventures have to end," Mom explained gently. "But that's what makes them special. And we can always come back another time," Dad added, closing his suitcase. Azalea brightened a little at that thought. "Promise, promise," both Mom, Dad said together. Before they left, Azalea wanted to say goodbye to all her favorite places. They took one last walk along the edge of the forest. Azalea took pictures with her new camera. The big oak tree where they had seen the squirrel family, the patch of wild strawberries they had discovered, the little stream where they had spotted fish starting in the clear water. "I'm collecting memories," she explained to Dad, who smiled and ruffled her hair. As they got into the car, Azalea made a discovery. "Look," she exclaimed, pointing to the side of the house. A small bird's nest was tucked under the eave, with a mother bird feeding her babies. "We've been neighbors all this time and didn't even know it," Mom said, watching the birds. Azalea took one final picture of the nest, then climbed into her car seat. Mr. Whiskers sat beside her, wearing the tiny explorer's hat Dad had made for him from paper. As they drove away, Azalea waved goodbye to the forest house, the trees, and the mountains in the distance. "Goodbye, forest." "Goodbye, mountains." "Goodbye, beach." She called out the window. "See you next time." The journey home seemed shorter than the journey there. Azalea looked through all the pictures on her camera, showing her favorites to Mom and Dad. "This was the salamander day," she said, showing a slightly blurry picture of the orange salamander. "And this is when the butterfly landed on my nose." When they finally reached their own house, it looked different somehow, smaller, maybe. But it was still home. That night, as Mom tucked her into her own bed, Azalea said, "This was the best vacation ever." "It really was," Mom agreed, kissing her forehead. "And do you know what the best part was?" Azalea asked, hugging Mr. Whiskers close. "What was that, sweetie?" "Being together," Azalea said with a yawn. "That's what made it special." Mom smiled and turned out the light. "You're right, Azalea. That's what makes everything special." As Azalea drifted off to sleep, she was already dreaming of their next adventure. Where would they go? What would they see? Whatever it was, she knew it would be amazing because they would be together. And Mr. Whiskers would be there too, of course. Chapter 8, Sharing the Adventure. Day after they got home, Azalea had an idea. "Mom, can I show my pictures to Grandma and Grandpa?" she asked during breakfast. "That's a wonderful idea," Mom said. "Why don't we invite them over for dinner tonight?" That evening, Grandma and Grandpa arrived with hugs and small welcome home presents for Azalea, a seashell bracelet that reminded them of her beach adventures. After dinner, everyone gathered in the living room. Dad connected Azalea's camera to the TV, so her pictures showed up big and clear for everyone to see. Azalea stood in front of the TV like a teacher. "This is my summer vacation presentation," she announced importantly, holding Mr. Whiskers for support. One by one, she showed her pictures and told stories about each one. She remembered every detail: the name of the forest ranger, the color of the salamander, how many towers were on her sandcastle. Grandma and Grandpa listened with wide eyes and big smiles. "And this," Azalea said, showing the last picture, "is our forest house. That's where the bird family lived. You've become quite the explorer and photographer," Grandpa said, clapping. "And a wonderful storyteller," Grandma added. Azalea beamed with pride. "Next time, you should come with us. We can all go exploring together." That night, as she got ready for bed, Azalea arranged her vacation treasures on her bookshelf: the blue jay feather, some pretty stones from the beach, her seashell bracelet, and her camera. "You know what, Mr. Whiskers," she said as she climbed into bed, "sometimes the best part of an adventure is telling people about it afterward." Mr. Whiskers seemed to agree. "And our next adventure," she whispered as she drifted off to sleep, "will be even better. I just know it." Key vocabulary repeated throughout adventure: a fun and exciting experience. Explore, to travel through an area to learn about it. Vacation, a time spent away from home for enjoyment. Beach, an area of sand or small stones beside the ocean. Forest, a large area covered with many trees. Mountain, a very tall hill that rises steeply above its surrounding shrubberies, something unexpected that makes you feel happy. Memories, the thoughts you have about things that happened in the past. Journey, traveling from one place to another. Imagination, the ability to form pictures or ideas in your mind. Discover, to find something for the first time. Miniature, plants, animals, and everything in the outdoors. Exciting, causing great interest or excitement. Amazing, very surprising and wonderful. Magical, beautiful or delightful in a way that seems not real. Wasn't that an amazing adventure with Azalea? Did you enjoy exploring the beach, mountains, and forest with her? What was your favorite part of her summer vacation? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to join more characters on their English learning adventures, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who are learning English, and subscribe to Story Driven English for a new story every week. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our new uploads. See you on our next adventure.